Hi, I'm Libby Cornish from Decadent Alternatives, and this is the additional video for my sourdough class. I have baked a couple of sourdough loaves down here. We have a baguette, a couple of cobs, some seeded loaves, and a plain loaf. Now, with the shape of the bread, basically it really depends on how long you're going to bake it, depends on the shape and at the temperature that you're going to bake it. So basically you're going to bake bread between 180 and 200 degrees if you're using the old golden flaxseed or blend made with golden flaxseed flour. If you are using the newer blend with the brown flaxseed flour that I'm pretty sure has been affected by drought, you'll want to basically bake them at 180 degrees. This is going to affect the thickness of the crust, but if you really want a lovely crunchy crust, then basically bake your bread. Once it's cooled down, then put it back in the oven so that you can get a crisper crust. So if we have a look, with the baguette, I actually didn't bake it in a baguette pan, so the bottom is flat, so that you can see it as while it's being baked, it has actually spread out a little. How much it spreads out is going to depend on the amount of psyllium husk that you put in there. So in this one I had about 14 grams of psyllium. This is a seeded loaf that I slashed before I baked along the outside, and so this is actually opened up when I've baked it, and inside that you've got lovely seeds and delicious, absolutely delicious. Where you actually slash the bread before the dough before you bake it is going to be where it actually expands in the oven. Now that is also going to be dependent on how long it has been proved and whether it is over-proved or whether there's actually enough room to actually expand. So I've got a cob loaf here that I did make it in a little spiral cut. It actually hasn't expanded a great deal, and this one is a fairly dense bread, but this one is made with the brown flaxseed flour. I've added in purple maize flour too for a colour difference, and I have put in 18 grams of psyllium husk and also added an egg in. It is quite, you can see that it is still flexible, but not as light and airy as others. So this loaf, similar to my purple maize loaf, but this is expanded a little bit more because the crust is not as thick as it normally would be. You will see a little bit of compaction down the bottom. Normally I would bake this at 200 degrees for a lot longer, but it is still lovely and flexible. The other loaves that I have here is this is a seeded loaf made with the brown flaxseed. Now I can tell that based on the crust moving in, that there was going to be a hole in there. And this is, you can see, it has just started coming away from the loaf. I should not have, I should have taken it out a lot sooner than that, but I forgot to put a timer on. So at one part of the loaf, you'll see that, and this is beautifully soft, at one part of the loaf, you'll see there is no, it's not actually, there's no hole there. It'd be also the same at that end too. So basically that is a bit on sourdoughs, where you, as I said before, where you score the bread, that is going to be a weak spot in the crust. So you sort of want to get that sweet spot of proving, but still with a little bit of rise when it goes into the oven. And that is also going to be trial and error. So if you are unsure, do a few experiments with yeast-based breads first, and then when you get the feel of it and you understand, or you can feel how the dough is actually expanding, then go for the sourdoughs. Okay, thank you.